It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Hello and welcome to another week in wrestling. I'm Luke Janesco.
Casey Church.
Dee Harris.
And it's been a little bit since
where the
we've
hell
been
were
doing.
you guys last week? I was sitting pounding at the door all day and night.
Me and Dee were on the other side of that door, giggling.
Yeah, I didn't move. I told him he showed up unannounced, so you don't answer the door for people who show up unannounced.
But a lot of ground to cover, I guess. But we're gonna try to condense because we never ramble as we talk about.
We never do that.
We never do that.
We stay straight to the outline, which I did forget this week, but we're not gonna really mention that. But we're gonna get into it. Casey's gonna take more of the lead this week because he's kind of got an idea of what's going on, and I just let everyone down. And
yeah, the guy who has to get all of his information from his phone because he's currently staying in a place with no Wi-Fi. So. But we'll survive, so...
we shall persevere.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry. I've watched... Oh, wait a minute. Crap, I didn't see 205 Live NXT this week. I guess I'm behind on wrestling. That's being behind on wrestling for me, is missing two shows.
Yeah, I don't think you're missing much of 205 Live. I don't. you hear they want to do cruiserweight only house shows. You hear about that?
That would not.
They're not ready for
flow.
No.
Like they don't have enough of a roster to do that or name value.
No, absolutely not. 205 Live doesn't even have that, and it's one of the reasons why they should move that show to before SmackDown, not afterwards. But we've talked about that before in the past.
They just won't. They should put it before Raw, if anything.
Can we talk
I'm done.
about something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it is a big deal that happened this week, and as soon as you guys mentioned it, 205 Live, Austin Aries promo aired that he's gonna be returning. I'm guessing to the Raw roster and 205 Live.
Okay.
So, how do you guys feel about that? 205 Live needs him. The Cruiserweight division needs him, but I feel like NXT does need him as well with how just rated they've been.
I think NXT will survive without A-Double. I think it'll be fine. If anything, NXT is going to get a big bump from the competitors from the UK Championship Tournament that are making a...
which is, they're already integrating them in.
Yeah,
Great.
that match between Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, former tag team champions in the UK. That was a fantastic match on NXT.
Very entertaining.
Yeah, they'll be fine in the meantime. As much as I would love to see Austin Aries back in the ring, I'm having too much fun with him on commentary to want to see him.
And I love the little interviews he does with everyone and stuff like that, trying to belittle everyone, I feel. So
right, and you also have Corey Graves and him bicker back and forth, despite them both being the heel commentators during the cruiserweight matches. I think it's great. Obviously, I want to see him in the ring. He's a fantastic talent. The greatest man that ever lived. He could potentially be WWE champion within the next 18 months if they give him a big enough push.
Yeah, he got the talent.
If they decide not to plaster that cruiserweight label on him. So that's one of the concerns I have with him being in 205 Live, because they plaster the word cruiserweight everywhere.
Yeah. On
the ring ropes and on the canvas, the banners everywhere. I'm just worried that the cruiserweight as a whole, it's going to get, WCW syndrome, where you're labeled as a cruiserweight, you're not going to expect to move up past the mid-card.
You're just pigeonholed in that 205 or lower.
So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but he has the talent. I think 205 Live does need the name recognition more than NXT, though. Even though NXT has been rated quite a bit, I think 205 Live does need him a little more.
I think as far as the Cruiserweight division goes, I think we may start seeing maybe by late summer that it's going to be really beefed up in terms of names. Because right now we do have Neville, which was great. Cedric Alexander has a lot of potential. Tozawa's making waves right now. Brian Kendrick is always going to be in there as a decent heel. I see big things coming from Tony Nese. But then I'm assuming I mean, because he's been down there for so long, and I don't think there's anything else he could possibly do, even though he's been injured most of the time. I'm assuming Hideo Itami is going to be part of the cruiserweight division.
Please, yeah.
And with all those guys, so many feuds you have right there. I mean, there's name value right there if they let these guys go out and perform the way they do. And if you're a pro, I know if you're a pro and you're really good at what you do, even though they're telling you certain things not to do in the ring, if they are doing that, you can work around it.
Yeah.
And you got guys like Austin Aries, Neville's doing incredible. Like, those guys can really make a match very psychological. Just by, I'm assuming Aries is going to be a heel, probably maybe more of a snarky face. I don't know, but either way, he'll make it work. But I think we might be seeing better things coming out of the cruiserweight division near the end of the summer. I'm giving it near the end of the summer.
Yeah, and like Dee said, with all the names you just mentioned, I can see something where, like in WCW, where you had guys like Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero come out eventually, whether it was in a different promotion, but you kind of had these guys move from the cruiserweight division to make from a strong cruiserweight division to a strong mid-card division, and then eventually a strong main event.
Yeah.
So I just feel like we could see that with, guys like Austin Aries, Hideo Itami, all these guys just going from one division to the next division to the next and just strengthening it and putting on just really great matches.
Was this another one of Triple H's pet projects, the cruiserweight division? Because if it was like the women were, we were probably going to see like that going to be pushed a lot harder too. Because I heard his priorities at the time were, when the time this report came out, were the women's division and the tag team division. Now, the tag team division isn't quite there yet, but the women's division is miles ahead of what it used to be as the Divas division.
Thank God.
Yeah.
At least it's somewhat watchable. And then you have Emma.
Gosh.
God, that was a waste of time. Thanks, WWE.
She should have been La Luchadora. She should have been. That would have been a great swerve.
Yeah, that would have been a great swerve because the promos were only on Raw. She shows up on SmackDown, and that would have been great. All right, getting into the main spiel of the show. We weren't able to do a Elimination Chamber recap, so we can go ahead and do that. Starting off, speaking of La Luchadora, Becky Lynch defeated Mickie James. I guess a decent match to open the card.
I would say it was solid. It was decent. Maybe if it went 5 more minutes, it probably would have got up into being a great match. It seems like right when they really started to get going. I'm guessing because the storyline was going to continue.
Right.
So I guess it seems like right when they really got going, that's where it ended. There's where Becky, got her roll up. So
yeah, yeah, like you were saying right there, the finish just, I don't want to say came out of nowhere, but it was almost like she should have been able to kick out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like
they needed to keep it going. Of course, Mickie got her win back on SmackDown last week. So
yeah, it was a decent way to start the show. I mean,
it was by no means a bad match, but
it was better than the Mojo Rawley Kurt Harkins match on the kickoff
show. And I love Mauro Ranallo, but didn't you say? Did you hear him say that? Mojo got the biggest win of his career.
Yeah.
When he beat Kurt Hawkins.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. Oh my gosh. Well,
if that's the biggest win of his career, then...
he's got to rethink some things.
Yeah. Can I go back to NXT? Can I just ship myself into a box back to Florida? Yeah.
We had a Kalisto and Apollo Crews on here too.
Yeah, Kalisto
with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, Kalisto, Apollo Crews defeated Dolph Ziggler. Was kind of a one-on-one match because Dolph beat up Kalisto.
And that was very well done.
Yeah,
because Apollo came out first, and Kalisto started doing the lucha thing when he got right in front of the ramp. Dolph attacked him.
Yep.
Threw him into the
Videotron.
Yeah, and ran through the crowd so nobody could get to him. And it wound up being basically a one-on-one match until Kalisto finally did come out and he hit the like a seated senton or something on Dolph and tagged Apollo back in, and it was over.
I love when Kalisto came out like holding his shoulder or his back or whatever it was, and the referees, like 2 referees, are just going, "No, don't stop. Think of your career." just they're not trying to hold him back or anything. They're just going, no, don't.
Well, the referees aren't supposed to touch the talent.
It just reminds me of like the scene from Willy Wonka. Is like, jump in, save him, do something, stop, help, police, murder. So it's just definitely it was a decent match. Dolph did a lot of good things. I thought Dolph was going to pull it in at the end, even with Kalisto's help. But I'm actually kind of glad that he did take the loss on that one, because in this case, the way they're building this character, the more frustrated he gets, the better he is both in character and in the ring. And I think that's definitely helping his heel character.
Heel now, and he's still losing.
Yeah, I think it's helping him, though, because the more frustrated he gets, the more angry he's going to become, and he's going to be that more physical in the ring, and he's going to start getting wins. It's definitely... It would not shock me if he did get a long-term title push come SummerSlam time. But it's definitely gonna have to do a slow burn on Dolph Ziggler for this case.
Yeah, one of those other things. So I said give it to the end of the summer, or at least by SummerSlam. Well, SummerSlam is technically the end of summer, but they don't really do massive changes until after a big pay-per-view. So
you know what I think might happen, and this might be giving WWE a little too much credit. Apparently, Money in the Bank is going to be a SmackDown only pay-per-view.
Thank goodness, yes.
Give Dolph Ziggler Money in the Bank again. Make him a 2-time Money in the Bank champion. Have him cash in later in the year to win the WWE Championship.
Did you just call that a championship? Money in the Bank champion? Come on, Case.
Okay, Mr. Money in the Bank. It's a gold briefcase. What do you want from me?
Oh my gosh, I hate when people call like the Royal Rumble champion and the Money in the Bank champion, Andre the Giant Battle Royal champion. They don't have belts for that.
Champion of champions champion.
Oh my gosh, that was so redundant on the video game. Oh.
But yeah, that would be the perfect opportunity, and especially if that's going to be a no DQ ladder match where Metal is flying all over the place. Let him go nuts.
Well, it depends on what they do with him between now and then. That's because he's already getting his wheels underneath him right now. But I was gonna say that's something Corbin should win, but for all we know, he could be WWE champion by then. I doubt it. I doubt it, but if he's in the match, that's the guy that needs to be winning if he's in the match.
The only thing I like about Baron Corbin right now is his T-shirt. I am not sold on that guy being a long-term WWE. I am not a fan of Baron Corbin. At least
he's
I'm not,
growing on me
slowly.
slowly.
Fan of his character right now.
Yeah,
his in-ring style is getting better. I'm giving him time to improve on that. But I just remember him sitting watching a Royal Rumble preview. Him and AJ Styles is on commentary.
Yeah.
And AJ is like really trying to goad him, trying to bring out his character, and Baron Corbin's just like, meh. And I don't think that was part of his character. Like, I'm not buying that he has any kind of charisma.
No, yeah,
and I get that's not probably part of his character.
He's fed a lot of his lines.
Yeah,
too.
Promo wise, he is not there at all. I've always thought they did some promo pictures. It was right before Corey Graves announced his, retirement injury and everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They were gonna kind of do a pairing with those two, and I've always thought that would be a great pairing. Whether Corey Graves was just his mouthpiece, because initially I think they were pairing him as a tag team, but I think he would benefit greatly with a mouthpiece. Baron Corbin, like in NXT, I really didn't. I wasn't a fan of his. I wasn't even a fan when he got brought to the main roster. But then, kind of when we didn't see him for a while, and then he just came back, and they kind of just did this recent push with him. I thought he's improved a lot
substantially since his NXT days. Don't get me wrong. I'm just this in-ring style, while it has gotten better, just kind of leaves me cold. I love the end of days finisher.
Yeah,
I love that. I think that's the best kind of finisher for a guy like him to have. He just hasn't grown on me. And he just comes off as just a guy who's just kind of there.
Yeah, and I think he needs some of those a couple of feuds to kind of say, okay, this guy has arrived. And I think the Dean Ambrose feud, depending on I think greatly it would be a big benefit if they did some sort of no holds barred at WrestleMania between those two. I just think that would be it.
Yeah, but the thing is, he needs to be winning that Intercontinental title if he's going to be going up against Ambrose.
Yeah, that's
he needs some kind of real momentum right now because he hasn't really had it. And I think I'm glad he overcame the Andre the Giant Battle Royal curse.
Oh God, yeah.
The only person that hasn't affected is the Big Show because he got a stupid push for no reason. when he had already been around for. Don't get me started on Big Show. I don't like Big Show. I don't like Kane, but he needs some kind of real traction right now. So I think putting the Intercontinental Championship on him would be a good idea. So if he's going up against Ambrose, which I said, I'm not sure if I said on this show, but I know, and talking to a few friends, I'm like, yeah, if Baron Corbin's going to WrestleMania, Ambrose versus Corbin is the best idea, but Corbin needs to win.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, next up out of Elimination Chamber, American Alpha won the tag team turmoil match to retain their SmackDown Tag Team Championships, last eliminating the Ascension, or as I like to call it, the clusterfuck of a tag match. What the hell was that?
You never saw a tag team turmoil match before?
Not like that.
That's how they won the tag team titles in the first place. But this is the thing, though. It makes it seem like that, American Alpha have no equals in the tag team division. They beat all the tag teams.
Yep.
Also,
in one night,
placing the champions as the second to last team to enter the match, don't you think?
Well, champions advantage in that one, so that's how that works. But
even with because they eliminated the Usos, second to last, they beat the hell out of them. But you knew as soon as the Ascension music hit that the Ascension wasn't going to win the tag titles. You knew the outcome of the match the second that Jimmy or Jay got pinned. So
the thing was, they were trying to make it seem like the Ascension had a believable chance of beating them, because I believe they did like some kind of multi-man match, and the Ascension actually were able to pin Gable.
Mm.
I think it was Victor that pinned him, so they wanted to give it a feel of a realistic chance for the Ascension, which didn't really work out.
No.
And the Usos got eliminated, and then they wanted to put a little bit of sympathy on American Alpha after they beat them up after getting eliminated. So they wanted the American Alpha to just overcome the odds and be able to eliminate the Ascension, but nobody cared. The Ascension hasn't done anything in a while. But speaking of the Usos, I want to give them some credit because they cut the best promo I ever seen them cut on SmackDown this week.
Yeah,
I love the heel dynamic between them right now. Like I think American Alpha versus Usos, that's going to be the feud for the next few months to carry the tag division. Because honestly, I really don't see that much there in the tag division at the moment.
Well, we're gonna have a American Alpha versus the Vaudevillains feud. I mean,
I feel like they're still getting punished because of Simon Gotch, because I heard Simon Gotch is an ass.
Oh yeah,
I think that's part of what's going on, especially with the whole fight thing with Sin Cara, and who hasn't been on TV in forever.
Sin Cara still has a job.
Yeah, I'm gonna segue real quick because you did mention the Royal Rumble when you were talking about Corbin earlier. I was watching Botchamania. You know how they had to remember the Rumble graphic scrolling and all the names were everywhere?
Right.
Botchamania pays so much attention to this stuff. They slowed that graphic down. So many names were misspelled.
No way.
It was instead of Kalisto, it was Kalist. Just no O. Braun Strowman was spelled Baron Strowman, so it was spelled Barun Strowman.
Oh my God!
It was I'm
gonna have to watch that one.
There was a few other ones in there. It was bad, and then they also showed the bigger guys like Mark Henry. For some reason, Big E, he's a big guy, but he's very mobile.
Yeah.
But like for Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, Big E, Big Show. Was Big Show in the Rumble?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Show I saw on that video too. They were getting on this little
the golf cart
and they got zipped to the ring really, really, really fast. And stopped at the ring apron. So I was just assuming because they made sure the camera didn't go back to the guys.
Yeah.
I was assuming they started running halfway.
Yeah.
Guess
nope.
not.
Nope. You can't. When was the last time you saw Big Show run except to the buffet? So.
Oh gosh. But Big Show's can't really call him Big Show anymore.
No,
he's
lost a lot of weight.
Still looks weird because he lost a lot of weight, but he's pretty slender these days.
He needs to get back to doing leg day because all of his muscle is up top, not at the leg. So next match on the card, Nikki Bella and Natalya in the Total Divas match, I guess we'll call it, just ended in a double count out.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't a bad match, and I actually kind of like the false finish there with the double count out. Keeps the feud going long term.
Well, it's over now, obviously.
Well, technically, yeah, but
because of what happened on SmackDown. But
you expected it to go at least until, if not to WrestleMania, then at least until after Fastlane when you really ramp up the whole Road to WrestleMania storylines. But this was a okay match. I actually it was the first time in a while I've actually been invested in a women's match solely for the wrestling, because I certainly wasn't invested in it for the storyline.
Yeah.
When I saw them, fighting at a obviously a makeshift merchandise stand that clearly wasn't actually selling anything, was just there for the segment. I knew the storyline was nothing more than just a way to enhance Total Divas.
Yeah.
On E, which it's kind of weird they still call it Total Divas because it's now the women's division.
They couldn't call it Total Women's.
Total Women's division.
No, just Total Women's.
Yeah.
Nikki impressed me.
Oh yeah, Nikki. I always thought Brie was the more athletic of the Bella twins, but Nikki, and obviously she's getting the rub off from someone with her hubby or fiance, I guess, or being John Cena, whatever they are now.
Her boyfriend.
Obviously, he's helping with the training, and it's definitely shown a lot. We give John Cena, or at least I do, give John Cena a lot of crap for doing the same old crap every single week in the ring, not looking like he's enhancing his in-ring ability at all. But he definitely does still have the talent.
You're a little too hard on Cena, but
I am. I admit that.
You're a little way too hard on Cena.
I admit that. Look, if a show gets stale, I change the channel. You can't do that with John Cena. It's just the same rerun every single week.
He's just doing what he's told, just like Roman Reigns. I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns and Cena feel like some of the stuff they're doing is like, they're probably like, you have me do this? This sucks. They already hate me.
Okay, then
my check
switch
is
from ESPN to ESPN2
wait,
once in a while.
my check is how much this week? All right,
okay,
I'll
do it.
All right. How much are you going to give me in medical insurance? Sign me up. It was a good match. It might have been, with the exception of the chamber match itself, I might have put that as a match of the night.
Yeah.
Singles match of the night.
I think Natalya, she's one of the people, man or woman, I think is one of the best wrestlers I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's just so technically sound and smooth. I don't see that enough. You see good wrestlers, but you don't see smooth, just straight from one transition to the next. So she's a woman that can have great matches with anyone, and I think Nikki's more than competent as well. I thought the Bellas always kind of got a lot of flack.
I used to really think they were absolutely useless, especially when they returned and they were really getting pushed hard.
Right.
It was really pissing me off because you had other girls there, especially girls like Gail who didn't get a chance when she was there. And you're pushing the Bellas. It's like, come on. I didn't see any talent. And over time, I'm guessing it's because of who they were with. They started getting better in the ring because I'm pretty sure Daniel Bryan. You could see Daniel Bryan's style in Brie, not just because she was using some of his moves, because that didn't come until much later. But you could see some of his style in Brie and some of Cena's style within Nikki. And this is way before they started splitting them up in anything.
Right.
You could just see you could look and somebody's been working with you, huh? You're getting good, but your character still sucks.
Yeah. And speaking of character, you mentioned Natalya being good in the ring at any time. Thank God her character's gotten better, even with this random heel turn that she went through here. It's a huge difference from when her gimmick was farting.
Let's forget about that one.
That was incredibly bad. But I was talking to Willie Hooper from WCIP when we were there recently, and he said that Natalya is the worst heel ever. She's not believable, and I said she's not that she's the worst heel, and she's not believable. It's just that some of the stuff she does or says and her delivery is hit or miss sometimes. Yeah, because I guess maybe she's still finding her footing in there.
Yeah.
It's that damn Canadian accent. They're too nice up there. They don't know how to be heels effectively.
She could be finding her footing, or that the fans aren't quite taken to her as a bad guy yet. I'm pretty sure they are now, but she was a face for how long?
I don't know. There was a house show where she was technically on the face team, though there was up.
They do that. They do that a lot at house shows, because if it wasn't on TV, it didn't happen unless WWE lets you know what happened.
Yep.
But that's what happened. That was a pretty good match. Okay. But let's move on to what I said was the match of the night.
Randy Orton defeating Luke Harper.
That match was
a really good match. It
awesome.
Really showed me what Luke Harper can do, because Luke Harper had pretty much been, a background player in the Wyatt family. Yeah. Even when he was with Eric Rowan, you always felt that Rowan was the more dominant of the two. Even during his IC title run a couple years ago, you never really felt that Luke was that competent a wrestler to hold a title like that. He's come a long way, and I hope that this singles path that they're going to have him be on, at least for a while, really goes in his favor. I definitely see a mid-card title run out of him. So.
I don't even think it's so much him, being having improved, as it is him actually being given a chance.
Yeah, because I've watched him in the independent scene as Brody Lee, and I was so excited when they signed him, because he was you look at him and he's a big guy, but look wise, I would be like, I don't think they're ever going to sign him, just because of the mold that they were trying to fit at that time.
Right, bushy beard, bald spot.
Yep.
Yeah, especially with that mandate that came out around that same time. We're not hiring anybody who's not 6'5" and at least 250 pounds. I remember that.
And I was excited that they signed him, and then the realization kind of fell into, well, are they really ever going to actually use this guy? And then once the pairing came with Bray Wyatt, I was really excited about it, because I think those two, Bray Wyatt in FCW had Eli Cottonwood as his enforcer.
Oh
whatever.
My gosh, that guy was terrible. And why would you even say that name?
And PTSD flashbacks going on right now.
And every time I would watch it, I'd say Brody Lee is perfect for this role. And then finally, they got rid of, we know who, and they put who became Luke Harper in that role, and I thought it was perfect. Those two are match made in heaven, and now that he's being more showcased, he's more than competent to be that in the main event picture. Just to be, Bray Wyatt's the kind of psychological type guy. Luke Harper can just be that I'm gonna beat you up, insane type of guy. He doesn't play mind games. He just goes out there and kicks your ass. And I think that's the kind of role they need with Luke Harper.
And this match was awesome. I enjoyed every minute of it. Every minute of this match was pretty good. Randy Orton.
Yeah, it was back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. Randy Orton put up a pretty good fight. Luke Harper just impressed me, because I always felt like this guy was going to be really good once he was just given a real chance. And then it was clothesline, went for the discus clothesline into the RKO.
That was a great way to end the match.
Cool. I think they should have given them guys a few more minutes. That's probably just me being selfish, because
yeah,
I was enjoying it. So
it was a 17-minute match. So
yeah, 17 minutes and 15 seconds to be exact, Casey.
Yes. Sorry, I wasn't getting into specifics. You're looking at the same thing I am. So.
Yeah, I am. I mean, when it happens a few weeks ago, man, you forget when the match order how the match order was.
All right. Well, yeah, that was a great match. It was definitely the only reason it wasn't match of the night for me, at least not the singles match of the night, is because we kind of knew going in Randy Orton was going to win the match. Yeah. I mean, he won the Royal Rumble. He obviously has his ticket to WrestleMania, or we'll get into that, but obviously he's going to be at least a part of WrestleMania no matter what they do. So that they weren't going to give him a loss against someone like Luke Harper, at least not at that point. We'll see how things go later in the week. Again, we'll get into that, but so far, I like what I wasn't sold on Randy Orton being in the Wyatt family. I'm totally sold on it now. I totally believe that this guy's been, if not brainwashed, and totally believes the hype of what he's doing right now. And
I told you to give it time, Case.
It started off. Seems so weird,
but look,
though.
it did start off completely out of nowhere, and it made no freaking sense at all. But I'm glad we are where we are with this storyline right now. Because it made no sense. So one day he just says, can't beat him, join him. Now my eyes light up red. I'm a bad guy. That's what the fuck happened. Yeah. But they went on with it.
Yes, Triple H and Vince McMahon are in the back. Did someone flip the heel switch on his back again? Son of a bitch. We have to wait till we have to change the batteries again to flip him back. Next match on the card, Naomi defeated Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship. But as we know now, a knee injury when she hit the finishing move cost her that championship, and Alexa Bliss has since won it back. So
yeah, she's I think had a minor tear in her MCL, but I want to give claps and kudos. I meant to actually post something like this on Facebook a while ago, but man, Naomi winning that championship was awesome. Just to see her, like she's been there, like with girls like Alicia Fox winning the championship.
You mean Alicia Fox?
Oh my gosh, shut up. Yeah, like Alicia Fox was champion since then. I mean, who else was there? Like they were like the stereotypical divas.
Like Kelly.
Kelly was.
Candice Michelle.
Like I said this since day I saw her date. Well, Candice Michelle actually got good and she
eventually, yeah.
But she regressed after the injury. But Naomi was from day one when she appeared on that first episode of that third season of NXT, the TV show, not the one we know now. If you guys can remember it,
we don't like to remember that. The only thing I remember from that version and that season specifically of NXT is heel Michael Cole being his absolute heelish, holding a sign up saying "Stop the pain."
That guy's an idiot anyway. But like from that first day, she had always been like she stood out. She stood out. On that season, it was her and AJ Lee, and then maybe Caitlyn. Those were the only ones that really stood out that season, and she's been there ever since. She always puts on a good match. She's a great wrestler. I always felt that way. She's clearly one of the most athletic, not just women, but probably one of the most athletic superstars in that company, period. So seeing her win, especially as an African American female, and me as an African American male, seeing that and for the impact that has on little girls of color, that was awesome to see her finally win that championship, especially after we've seen her chase this goal, and especially after she's mentioned it so many times on Total Divas, how she wants to be the champion and she just hasn't really gotten the opportunity yet.
Right.
And to finally see her get it, as sad of an end as it was, she had to relinquish it due to injury, it was still great to see that. And her and Alexa Bliss put on a pretty good match, and I was not disappointed in that match. I mean, Alexa Bliss took the first moonsault wrong when she wasn't supposed to and rolled out of the way and then tried to punch her, and you could have put somebody's ass in between her and Naomi, and Alexa still wouldn't have hit the ass. But that's what happens. But it was still a good match. I'm glad for Naomi. I'm glad this happened. But
I'll tell you what the match did do for me, at least for Alexa Bliss. She's definitely improved in-ring wise over the last couple of weeks. Not only since she's come up, but I'm talking from the first time she won the women's championship to now. She's come a long way, and I'm actually impressed at how well she's gotten in the ring.
Well, our
character's still crap, but
I wouldn't say her character's crap. I honestly think she's being an extension of herself to some degree, because she's probably not super nice.
It's just still so forced, though, the way she do. You can tell she's acting.
But you'll like this. She's former Akron alum. But
there you go. I knew she was from Columbus, so like the first time I realized she was from Columbus, I was like, damn it, now I have to like her.
But also, I think you can attribute her ability in the ring to her constantly getting better. I believe Sarah Del Rey is on the Sarah Mato. Right. Is on the road with the main roster now.
Yeah. Oh, is she?
And I believe, of course, and during that interview she had with the coach, Alexa Bliss had with the coach on ESPN, she mentioned that she's been working with Sarah Del Rey basically since day one she came in, because she said she straight up told Sarah that, I know nothing about wrestling. I haven't, as far as like the ability, because she grew up as a fan, but she said, I know nothing about wrestling. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. And she just been guiding her the whole way through. And that's probably why she's gotten as good as she has in the ring.
Del Rey, she's a full-time coach at the Performance Center now, isn't she?
Yes.
I mean,
I heard she was on the road now.
Yeah.
So.
And that kind of shows, because you see some of these ladies that you would think, okay, I'm not going to really expect anything from them, and then they get in the ring and they're more than capable of putting on great matches. I was so excited for Naomi when she won.
Oh yeah, me too.
I didn't see it coming at first. I was hoping, but I was like,
you know what? I didn't think it was going to happen until WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I didn't
in her hometown.
Yeah, but when I got the rumor mill rolling around was that wasn't going to be a SmackDown women's match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, women's
title match at WrestleMania. So
not anymore.
So I thought they were going to just do since they were going to do a multi-man match when the announcement came that okay they're just going to do a multi-woman match at WrestleMania, that won't be a title match.
Yeah, I
was like, okay, since they still want Naomi to go in as champion, they're going to have him run it sometime beforehand. So that kind of made sense.
Yeah, and I was so excited for her, and then I totally missed the whole relinquishing thing. I missed that.
That happened, what, Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yep.
I missed this. I didn't watch it air, and then I went to work the next day, and one of the guys was like, "Did you see Naomi gave up her belt?" And I was like, "What?" That was like, and then I went home and watched it that night, and I just couldn't believe that she's worked so long to get that championship, and then to have it end like that. I mean, she's guaranteed almost when she gets back a shot at it.
And I had to tell somebody because it sounds incredibly silly when they said it. They said, "You guys notice a trend that every time somebody gets injured, they have to relinquish the title." I was like, "That's not a trend. Shit happens. People get hurt."
Yeah.
Well, if you can't defend the championship,
if I have a broken leg, what do you want me to do? Scotch tape it up and just deal with it?
I don't know. They need to do something about this trend happening. I was like, it's not a trend. Shit happens.
Yeah. It's like it's not ballet, as they say.
No. Main event of the night, Bray Wyatt, which was a surprise for me, won the WWE World Championship, defeating John Cena, AJ Styles, The Miz, Dean Ambrose, and Baron Corbin in the Elimination Birdcage match.
Oh, Casey! First of all, you need to stop with you can't hate everything. That chamber is awesome.
Nah,
I love the way it looks. It's more
that's
camera.
a Hell in a Chamber match.
It's more camera friendly. I love the way it looks, and even though it doesn't have like those steel grated floors anymore, who gives a shit?
Technically, it did have floors. I think it was steel, but it wasn't like great.
It was wood. I heard somebody say it was padded. It wasn't padded at all. It was just basically
WWE ruins everything.
But it was black wood, and you could see that the underside of it when the cage was like hanging in the air during other matches. Okay. You can see it was clearly wood underneath. But
it was just like the big black Tweety Bird cage that it used to have. Obviously, I get why they changed it because everyone has these big, humongous Titantron-esque scoreboards now.
That was easily the best chamber match they've ever done.
I'm not debating the match. I just thought the old chamber looked cooler. That's all. That's my only complaint about it. I just thought the old one looked cooler.
Things changed, and I love the new chamber a lot better because when you sent me the picture a couple weeks ago, right before the show started, and I'm like, what is he complaining about? And I'm looking at it like, from looking at the picture, I'm like, oh man, they put the door on the wrong side. And I look closer and say, wait, that's not the freaking door. What is he complaining about? I didn't even notice it was a new chamber until the match started. Like, oh, it's a new chamber. He doesn't like change. Makes sense.
I don't.
You're an October baby, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. We don't like change, so I can understand. But with that, I was totally.
I just thought the old one looked cooler. I'm in the total agreement with you. This was hands down the best Elimination Chamber match that they've had ever. Not since the first one. Way back when have I been this excited for a chamber match.
Because we didn't know what the hell the first one was going to be.
Right.
And even though that one was good and it was the first one, it was still pretty clusterfucky if you look back on it. It was like, huh? What's going on?
Also, before we get into the main deal of the match, one little thing I noticed while watching it, they stuck the German announce table at ringside. It's called the Elimination Chamber match.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the issue with that.
Oh, shit. Casey, come on, man.
They don't even call it the Elimination Chamber in Germany. The match is called the No Escape match because they can't call it that for obvious reasons. But
hey, did you see when they went to the was it the German announce team?
yeah.
And they weren't ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great.
And dude was like oh shit. I can't speak German, guys. So bear with me. I'm not being an asshole. I'm just trying to reenact what they did. But they were not ready. Like you could tell on camera they were not ready. Dude looked at him. He pointed at him. He's like, "Go ahead.
Go. Say something. Vince is going to kill us."
And he started talking really, really fast just to try to hurry up. Like he already wasted like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much a 10-second spot right there. So he started talking really, really fast, trying to get whatever he had to say out.
Vince is backstage saying, "That's it. Next time, put him back in announcer's row."
Yep.
He's like, let's get Alex Wright on commentary.
That would be awesome. That's right. And Disco Inferno on commentary.
Get Berlin on there. So Berlin and the Wall reunited on commentary.
Oh my gosh.
If you people get those WCW references, let us know. But yeah, this was hands down the best chamber match they've ever had. I was surprised that Bray Wyatt actually won. I mean, I had a feeling, and I mentioned my theory over the last couple of weeks about what I thought they were going to do with John Cena and his title reigns. It's probably not going to happen now, but I didn't think that even 2 weeks after winning it, I did think that he was going to lose the title in the chamber match. I thought he was going to lose it back to AJ or maybe even Dean Ambrose, have a dual championship for at least 1 week. I was not expecting Bray Wyatt to win it, and if anyone deserved it more, it was probably Bray Wyatt.
But remember our last show, I said this is at the point where they have to do something with Bray Wyatt because it was basically
definitely a last chance.
Whether he loses the championship at WrestleMania or next week, whenever, if they didn't do something with Bray Wyatt now, they might as well just scrap the character because he had lost so much momentum, and he was actually starting to pick up momentum with the Wyatt family and with Randy Orton, and they needed this. He needed this, and and he didn't win his first championship to last year when he won the tag belt with Orton. That didn't make any sense. He should have been champion. He should have been champion at least twice already.
Yeah, he should have had the Intercontinental belt at least a couple times.
Injuries hindered him, and some other stuff happened. When he was supposed to fight Brock. And thank goodness that didn't happen because we know he wouldn't have been not have won the match.
Yeah, that would have been a fun match to watch anyway.
He would have squashed the entire Wyatt family when they interfered. We already know what would have happened with that. So Bray Wyatt.
No, we got that with The Rock.
He needed something. Oh yeah, that happened. The Rock. Who else beat them up?
Cena.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Was Austin in there with a stunner?
That was the League of Nations.
Okay, yeah.
With Foley and HBK.
They're starting to run into each other now because the shows are so freaking long. But yeah, Bray Wyatt needed this win. I wanted to see AJ win that match so bad, but
yeah, I thought that was going to happen. I thought he was going to win his belt back.
But then again, AJ, it's kind of like what AJ said on the Stone Cold podcast. He said, "I understand that you can't be on top all the time. Like everybody has their time.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, AJ's been like the man and absolutely on fire since July.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just lost the championship, and it's February now?
Yeah.
Was that the end of January the Chamber was?
Yep.
Yeah. So
early February, yeah.
And I mean, losing the belt doesn't damage his credibility at all. It's AJ Styles. But I was so excited that they chose to eliminate Cena. He didn't even make it to the last two.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't because it makes him more fight like, and because
anything
in a real
happen.
fight, anything can happen.
Yeah.
It can go really, really long. You can be eliminated first. You can be eliminated last.
I really do think that WWE is starting to take hints from MMA.
Yeah.
Because you look back at the Brock Goldberg match at Survivor Series. That match was a minute and a half, and it ended the show a half hour early.
Yeah.
Like it would if it was a UFC fight.
Yeah.
People have become so used to the match ending, 10 minutes before 11 o'clock on the East Coast that they just expected the match to be this long, lengthy thing.
Yeah.
So when Goldberg squashed him, people, jaws were literally on the floor. And I think that's WWE's mentality these days, that they're more apt to take risks. Because if you look at the fans, because of those stupid fan shots they always do now, when Cena got eliminated, you saw people who were, the Cena haters were still like, Wait,
What?
they're actually doing this?
It was
They're
a
actually
kid.
doing this?
It was a kid they paying to. He just couldn't believe himself.
Yeah, he was crushed.
He's like, what? But it was great
never give up.
But it was cool because you had Wyatt eliminate the last 2 champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which was great.
And
And
that
Corbin beat the balls off of Dean Ambrose.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's going to be a great feud.
But my thing is like, logically, is like, why are you so mad at him for eliminating your dumb ass? Should have turned around to somebody who hadn't left their pod yet. You should have been focused on I'm not going to fight someone. I'm thinking of this logically, guys, because I'm a martial artist and we're trained not to do this stuff. I'm not going to fight someone and turn my back and worry about the guy who's not trying to fight me yet.
Right.
Because he's scared. And then get fucked up by the guy behind me, even though all he did was roll him up and pin him. I think he held the tights too, but yeah, going back to that.
These Q match technically.
But going back to that, man, Baron Corbin beat the shit out of Ambrose.
I loved his reaction too. Like when his pod opened up and you just saw the look of fear. It was almost like you can definitely tell his Hollywood gimmick is rubbing off on him.
Yeah,
because
Miz's character's scared to fight anyway.
It worked. You almost believed it at that time. It just shows that Miz, as crap as his WWE movies are, he is a decent actor. That Dean Ambrose Baron Corbin feud is going to be great. I do believe that that's going to go to WrestleMania, and Baron Corbin will likely come out with the IC title on it. Match itself, Bray Wyatt, definitely astounded me in the match. I thought that anything that he did in that match, whether it was selling someone else's offense or hitting someone else with, his big moves, I thought he did an absolute great job. He was playing through the crowd. It definitely showed that, especially in a match like this, he didn't need anyone's help, which he kind of been relying on the Wyatt family.
Can I cut you off
support.
I want to cut you off 1 second. We can go back to see the. Did you guys hear when he was climbing the cage? Now he was audible as hell. You can hear this guy. He said, Cena was climbing the cage to walk over to the pod.
Right.
Dude said, "Don't kill yourself, Cena." That was hilarious.
I don't think that's going to be on the replay, on the on-demand thing. Bray Wyatt definitely deserved the match. You can definitely tell that after he was given the belt, he was kind of breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Definitely, when he was, kind of dancing around and fell backwards with the belt, it was definitely like that was a moment of release. Like the world was finally off his shoulders. He finally did it, and even if his reign lasted a week, I think he would have been able to do the rest of his career and retire happy.
And you could tell he was super happy because on SmackDown when he came out to do his his first championship promo, like it almost came off as he was supposed to be heel, obviously still, but it came off kind of babyface like.
Yeah.
Because of
they're gonna make that transition by SummerSlam
because he was so happy, and I don't know if I'm gonna buy him as a face yet. I don't know. I gotta see.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
I have to see what happens first. That's all.
But you already have the fan base behind him with the whole Fireflies thing and how they've been able to run with. Granted, he was going up against Cena at the time.
Yeah.
And that was at the time when Cena's heat was almost nuclear.
Yeah.
At the time when people were really getting sick of him.
Yeah. I just hope they don't try to, if they're going to turn him face, they don't change him too much to be like, happy-go-lucky Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, like Seth Rollins, who didn't need the fans. Now he's a good guy. He's telling the fans to get up when he comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
You almost have to turn him... I don't know if this is the best example, but when Sheamus first turned face after he debuted, he was still kind of doing the same old thing. It wasn't until later that he started to really showboat to the fans a little bit.
Sheamus ruins everything. But, whatever.
But at least for like the first 3 to 6 months of his face turn, he was still doing the same thing. He was basically, Finley 2.0 at that point. And was really showing that, even though he was fighting on the side of good, crossing over to that white line, showed that he was still able to kick your head off. It wasn't until later that year that he really started to do the whole, stand up and cheer, I'm going to hug the kids and autograph while I'm walking down the ramp and things like that. If they keep Bray Wyatt as he is now, just tweak his promos to sound more neutral or good guy-ish, if that's even a word. I think it can work, because the fans are already behind him, but once they... but don't be afraid that even if it's just, 6 months down the line and you feel that it's getting stale already, don't be afraid to flip that switch back to making him, the evil backwards cult leader again. So
I'm just make him a tweener, because we don't have many shades of gray these days.
I'm just really hoping we get a lengthy Bray Wyatt reign, and he doesn't drop it at WrestleMania to Randy Orton.
Well,
or whoever.
The thing is, Orton doesn't need it, but
No.
I'm kind of scared that he might, because they may still be trying to okay, Orton, you did us this favor at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
and I mean,
he's still pretty hot, but that's the whole reason.
pissed.
That's the whole reason his heel turn, I believe, was so random. Because of he prefers to be heel, and we have to do right by Orton now, because we shouldn't have made him do that.
Yeah, and I'm not against an Orton title reign. I think it's been long enough for him that he hasn't been in the title picture, that if he did get the championship, I wouldn't be upset. But I don't want it to be to cut Bray's short, because I think a lot of people have been waiting for Bray Wyatt
you should keep it at least until SummerSlam.
Yeah, so I'd like to see a lengthy one, because there are quite a few guys I feel like Bray Wyatt can have an interesting main event championship feud with.
All right. Well, we technically still don't know what the main event even is, because Randy Orton said on SmackDown right after Chamber that he wasn't going to go after Bray Wyatt. He wasn't going to.
And that made no sense to me, but I was like, well, okay, SmackDown's a better written show than Raw. Let me just give it a chance. But that didn't make any sense.
So they had the Battle Royal Tuesday, and it ended in a draw. So we still technically don't know what the official match is, and we probably won't for at least another week and a half. So.
Yeah. And I just want to comment on this, the Bray Wyatt Randy Orton feud storyline. I think it's one of the most complete storylines we've seen in a while, because they've integrated the tag team championship, now the world championship. Yeah. We've seen guys like Luke Harper kind of get
like a WWE video game.
Yeah,
the storyline they put you through.
Oh my God,
they're just making use of almost the entire everything on SmackDown. I feel like they've been through it, which we haven't seen, which I hope we do get more of. So I can see the end game being Orton Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, with something happening with Luke Harper going up against Bray Wyatt in a little while. That kind of add more tension there, and then Randy Orton saying, "Okay, now I'm gonna go."
I'm thinking Wyatt family triple threat at WrestleMania. That's what I'm thinking, because I was thinking of the New Day would be the triple threat match, but they're not gonna split the New Day up.
No, they're not even gonna. They're the official hosts of WrestleMania.
Exactly. So the thing, my thing was, they would want to do some kind of triple threat with a former faction. I keep having to put back in my head, Randy Orton's part of the Wyatt family. That's the Wyatt family triple threat match. They would never do that with Eric Rowan.
Yeah. And I mean, is he coming back?
On a pole match.
Would he be the wild card, or
he's cleared? So I'm thinking he would be a wild card, and he's going to interfere on someone's behalf.
Yeah.
If they want, if not, they'll just, I don't know what they're going to do. He may end up on Raw for all we know, to be honest with you. But that's gonna. I think the triple threat is gonna be the way to go, especially with how things ended on SmackDown this week. Even though I understand what they were trying to do, and as much as I love AJ Styles, your feet hit first, bro. Yep. We saw that.
That's why they did not replay.
I'm not sure if AJ didn't know he was supposed to go all the way straight to the floor, or if Luke Harper didn't know he was supposed to hit the floor too. But as soon as he saw AJ starting to roll to the floor, he dove off the ring apron at the last second, but AJ had already hit the floor first. Yeah. And then the crowd kept saying, no, he hit first. Harper won. They were chanting, Harper, Harper. And so it just made Daniel Bryan look like a jackass when he came out there. Yeah. But they had to stick to the script. They could just.
This is why SmackDown shouldn't be live.
Honestly, they could have just stuck to the script and did something else next week, but who knows? And you said SmackDown shouldn't be live because of things like that. We see too much bullshit on Raw to even care about something small like that happening on SmackDown.
No, because in Vince McMahon's words, if they do it on Raw, they meant to do it. So, speaking of Raw, I may as well talk about what's happened over the past couple weeks.
Oh, you mean the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
Well,
the Festival of Friendship didn't go according to plan, did it?
Well, it was cool. I like what they did, and we already knew what was going to happen as far as Jericho and Kevin Owens eventually. But I would have held off on this just for until the pay-per-view, and here's why. I would have had the Festival of Friendship go down with some kind of other ending other than Kevin Owens beating the hell out of Jericho, even though that was cool. I would have had that beatdown take place after Goldberg beat Kevin Owens for the championship, and him go ahead and beat the hell out of Jericho the same night and just completely put him on the shelf. Do everything else he did. Probably wasn't able to do this whole screen thing with throwing him into the screen because, it would have been after the match. Mm-hmm. But I would have had him beat the hell out of Jericho, put him on the shelf for a little bit. After that, saying, you caused this. You caused me to lose my championship because you put me in the match. You accepted the match for me. This kind of thing like that. Right. Powerbomb a ring apron. Powerbomb through the table. Just have it be like Powerbomb City. Could have had another hashtag because it had the fans.
I want that T-shirt.
The fans, no doubt, would have been screaming Powerbomb City.
Yeah.
Just basically have almost a replay of what he did to Sami Zayn in NXT.
Yeah.
Just have him just keep powerbombing this guy and beating the hell out of him. And because we already know, like, the way it's shaping up, I'm pretty sure, especially after the promo Heyman and Brock cut about wanting Goldberg to win the Universal Championship, I don't think he's going to interfere. So I'm assuming Goldberg is going to win that championship because I know he didn't come back for nothing.
Yeah.
Especially to be on the road this long. And he would have never mentioned Stephanie saying, I think you got one more title run left in you if he wasn't ever going to get that title run, similar to The Rock saying, I'm going to get a title shot against whoever's the champion at Royal Rumble, and it happened to be CM Punk, what I mean? Yep. So I'm assuming Goldberg's going to win, and that's going to set up Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, and we're probably going to get that for the U.S. title because Jericho's still champ.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully they don't do something stupid like have Jericho drop the belt in the meantime because that doesn't make any sense. I'm hoping it'll be more of a situation as, well, you put me in a match where I could lose my championship. Now I'm going to take yours type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be. But I would have held off until immediately after the match, like Goldberg did his whole celebration or whatever. But I probably want to do something with Brock after that. So maybe some kind of stare down or face to face, or maybe even F5. So they wouldn't even have time for a spot like that.
Yeah.
But the Festival of Friendship for what they wanted to do, I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, because I really did love that he turned on him earlier than the pay-per-view, just because I didn't see it coming. Like I knew that they were gonna. I assumed they were gonna start feuding, but I didn't think it was gonna happen right then. Like you, I thought something was gonna happen at the pay-per-view. I thought Jericho was gonna accidentally cost Kevin Owens the championship, and then Kevin Owens probably next night would kick the shit out of him. I didn't think it was gonna happen right there, and I did love that he got him the list. And he goes, wait, why is my name on this?
Lifted up his list of KO. Yeah, I thought that was a really good way.
Yeah, so I thought that was really good. And I'm guessing Chris Jericho's going to get involved at Fastlane and do something there. And Goldberg's walking away champion. So, I'm expecting a U.S. title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm assuming Kevin Owens is going to be so sick of Spears after this match.
Yeah.
He just finished the feud with Roman Reigns.
Spears City doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well. So,
I mean, and I don't really like
suburbs.
I don't know.
Suburban Spears.
I don't know if they're trying to add credibility to the championship by giving it to Goldberg, like if they think giving him the Universal Championship.
It will. Especially if Brock takes it off of Goldberg.
I don't think that's the way to go. I mean, like, Goldberg...
It shouldn't be the match to end WrestleMania, I can tell you that.
Like, giving 50-year-old Goldberg a championship, I don't think is the way to establish credibility on it.
But 50-year-old Goldberg can kick most people's ass. That's the thing.
I mean, most regular people's asses, but I don't believe that he would on the main roster. I don't think he would.
But you know what? It's another thing. Like with Randy Orton, they're trying to do right by Goldberg because the guy came back. He stuck around for longer than he said he was going to.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of owe them after that failed run back in 2003, 2004. And you owe the fans for what you did to Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, like, I think there's a point where you do right by somebody. Again, it goes again with how punishments have been taken out on people storyline wise and deep pushes and things like that. I think the whole politicking thing, you need to put business first rather than doing right by.
But not to cut you off, but I guess that kind of is business because of what because they're trying to justify. Okay, we're paying this guy a lot, but we're dicking him over, and that's not doing us any favors either. We should probably just go with this, and because everything in wrestling is temporary. That's what everyone in WWE says.
Yeah, so. And see, to me, I guess that's bad business, as in the sense of if we're gonna pay Goldberg a lot, why are we paying Goldberg in 2017 a lot?
Because we don't know how to make our own stars.
And nostalgia sells. Just ask the guy over here that watches the Splat every night. So
yeah.
and I guess again we go back to how business is done. Since Goldberg's been back, he hasn't put over anyone. From the sounds of it, he's not really gonna put over anyone. He may put over Lesnar, but I mean,
does Lesnar need to be put over though? That's the problem. I mean, Lesnar by himself, he showed up for a grand total of 3 minutes during that Raw in Cleveland, and everyone just popped.
Yeah.
For it. So,
at least to me, both these guys are beyond championships. They don't need it, and I think it doesn't do the championship any favors when in 2017 when you have guys.
In my opinion, in all honesty, I don't think Kevin Owens should lose the match. I think he should somehow retain the Universal Championship and it be a champion versus champion match at WrestleMania.
And I'm not the biggest Kevin Owens hater in the world, but I think it goes back to what I said about AJ. He's been the man. He's been the champ since the summer, and it's WrestleMania time now, and they need to do with it whatever they're gonna do.
Right.
They said they want to make this match with Brock and Goldberg the biggest match they can possibly make it, so they need the title.
I don't buy this as a title match, though. I don't even buy this as a main event.
You're probably not the only one that feels that way, but this is what they're going to do.
See, this is the problem that I've been mentioning on and off throughout since we started this podcast. You want the best match to end WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because think about it this way, and Al Snow made this point at a shoot interview he did online, and I completely agreed with it. WrestleMania 3, what was the best match of that card?
Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage.
No, the best match of that card was Hogan versus Andre because that's the one that put the butts in the seats. You want the match that's going to put butts in seats. And granted, it's WrestleMania. The name alone's going to put butts in the seats. But you always want the best match of the night to be the one to end the show at a big card like this. And I'm just not seeing it with anything that WWE is making right now in terms of any of its storylines. That's my biggest concern right now, because look at last year's WrestleMania. Did any of us want that show to end with Triple H versus Roman Reigns?
No.
And
Triple H just had to be in the main event again, didn't he?
You could hear the boos all the way in Oklahoma. So, if I'm WWE, I want to avoid that. And look, people are going to pop for Lesnar. People are going to pop for Goldberg, title or no title. Don't get me wrong. But as time goes on, that match is just going to get stale because it's not going to be another minute and a half.
But I don't. That's they only have a certain shelf life. Goldberg or Lesnar only does suplexes, and I don't see Goldberg wanting to be suplexed that many times. I don't even see Goldberg being able to.
I don't think Lesnar wants to be jackhammered more than once.
Yeah.
So.
I'm pretty sure that they'll find a way around it. This is something like we're trying to figure out, and I think we just really need to let it play out, and that's the way this is going to go.
Now, though. I want to.
What's the fucking point of watching WrestleMania?
I mean, to a certain extent, we did let it play out.
We have to let it play out
a few years ago.
We did, yeah. This is more than a few years ago. This is, oh my gosh. This is 2017. That happened in 2004. Jeez.
Well,
when both of them left.
It's
All right.
I've been watching this crap since 1996, so
98 for me, so we're in the same boat.
All right. So, yeah, we got Fastlane coming up. Do we
Yeah.
want to run down the card real quick?
Run down the card.
yeah, real quick. Let me just pull it up here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, so we already know what our main event's going to be.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
Please let Strowman win this match.
I think Strowman kind of needs.
He needs this win.
He needs it in order to establish
and
a
Reigns
monster.
needs this loss to not only look human, but to I guess propel him into heel mode for Undertaker.
Yeah,
that's where they're going.
Yeah.
Oh God!
And if he is beating Undertaker at WrestleMania, if he's going to beat the Undertaker, he has to be a heel. There's no way around it. Because if
he also should have a car running in the,
in
the back of the arena.
But the thing is, if he's going to be the one to beat him, if you don't want to completely ruin Roman Reigns for the rest of his career, you'll make him heel for this match.
Yeah.
Or at least, or if he's not heel for going into this match, he needs to be heel. He needs to be heel as coming out of it, like the heel tactic.
Well, yeah, if you beat Undertaker at WrestleMania, there's no way you're coming out face. So
no,
he's got to be a solid tweener going in, and then have that transition happen.
I'm telling you,
it's
like I said with Bray Wyatt, if they didn't do something with him for Chamber, they were going to ruin him to the point of no end.
Yeah.
If Roman Reigns beats the Undertaker and it's not heel at WrestleMania, you might as well forget about it.
Yeah.
And that because every time he even comes out, like he's gonna get that what they call who was it? X-Pac
heat.
The X-Pac heat. You don't want that.
No,
that's go away. Vicky Guerrero had X-Pac heat.
Yeah.
And then they gave her the little sentiment because they took her off TV for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
And she wasn't in that big of a role. But when the fans just don't. They're not booing you because you're a heel or you're the bad guy. They're booing you because they don't like you. They don't want you on TV.
Legitimately don't like you.
John Laurinaitis, Michael Cole.
Yeah. I don't get me started on that guy.
Neville defends the Cruiserweight Championship against Jack Gallagher.
Well,
about this.
Well, Gallagher is awesome.
No, I'm not denying that, but there's no way he's getting the championship.
He's not getting that championship. Neville's too freaking hot.
Yeah.
He's not getting that belt.
But I think Gallagher was a solid choice.
They put the belt on William III before they put it on Gallagher.
To put it on someone who is over in the Cruiserweight division that is newer rather than just having an established guy. I think Gallagher was probably the best choice with not going with, a returning Austin Aries or anything like that.
Right, yeah, give it time for the Cruiserweight division. Gallows and Anderson defend the tag titles against Enzo and Cass. That'll actually be a pretty decent one.
That'll be decent, but it's going to end in some kind of either Cass and Enzo are going to lose, or it's going to be some kind of disqualification because the word since last summer was or last spring actually is Kaz and Enzo are going to get their feet underneath them around WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah, I definitely. It wouldn't shock me if it was a clean 1-2-3 loss, but they'll definitely get a rematch come WrestleMania. It'll probably be a pre-show match, but they'll probably win the belts come Mania season. So.
And then Charlotte's probably going to beat Bayley again in that rematch.
Yeah, they're going to continue the whole pay-per-view streak thing.
This is my thing though. It's so stupid because that means Bayley's title win meant nothing. And I kept saying this to myself when I was watching that match. I said, if Bayley beats her tonight, and they're just gonna do the rematch at Fastlane, then this title win means nothing at all.
Yeah,
it was okay when it was I guess Sasha and Charlotte.
Yeah,
because we didn't see that dynamic until maybe their last match or the last two matches.
Yeah,
and if you're just gonna do this again, that means nothing. Give Bayley some momentum going into WrestleMania. Let her be the one to win to end that record that Charlotte has. And I beat you so many times. Bayley's been counting.
Yeah,
so I beat you so many times, and now they're saying they want to do the Fatal 4-Way with Nia, who made her statement that she wanted to be in the title picture on Raw. Sasha, who's clearly back in the picture again, because they're having her not sell that knee injury, which she should have stopped selling 2 months ago.
Please.
and Bayley's a champion, so give her some momentum going in. And Charlotte's been the champion for cumulatively way too long.
Yeah.
So give somebody else a chance. That's why the women's division on Raw has suffered, because you've only been focusing. People that say it's been focused on two girls because of Sasha and Charlotte. It's mainly been one, and that's Charlotte.
Yeah, because they've continuously had to go back to Charlotte. It's been Charlotte and whoever they want to give the belt to for a little bit until they bring it back.
Even when she was feuding with Nikki, it was about Charlotte.
Yep.
So it's time. It's time.
Just looking at the card, aside from Goldberg, who's obviously going to be a novelty, this is just another Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And at least Elimination Chamber kind of had like a definitely a SmackDown show feel to it. At least it had the Elimination Chamber to make it special and make it worth the $9.99. They need to do something, and Goldberg isn't exactly it to make this feel special. So
this is let's just get to WrestleMania pay-per-view. That's
why it's called Fastlane. Just hurry up, just get on that road.
Yeah, honestly, this is such a transitional pay-per-view. Like, to get to wrestle, this is it.
Which is why they should have waited until after WrestleMania to do these brand exclusive pay-per-views. I don't understand why they didn't just
Well, they
wait.
announced it way ahead of time, and I don't even think they knew which brand was going to have what pay-per-view. They said, we got more names. Let's make more pay-per-views. Who's going to be on them? We don't know. Let's just do it.
We didn't know Money in the Bank was going to be a SmackDown show till last week. So.
I heard that was going to be a SmackDown exclusive.
It wasn't official.
It wasn't official, but now it is.
Yeah, I think they really need to limit the pay-per-views and put more effort into it. But
one last thing I want to get in before we end: DDP going to the Hall of Fame.
I will be interviewing DDP on my show on screen with D Harris. When I go to Lexington Comic-Con, DDP will be there.
Are you going to be doing yoga?
He's probably, knowing DDP from the last time I met him, he'll probably make me do yoga.
Can I go with you? No, I'm serious. DDP was one of my all-time favorites in WCW. You better believe I'm getting his DVD the day it comes out. I cannot wait for that one.
I'm so excited. He's actually going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I've been asking for it for the last 3 years.
Long overdue. Yep, especially just in the ring and the guys he's helped outside of the ring. Just in the pro wrestling realm of everything, he needs to be in there.
This is a really good Hall of Fame class too, and we probably only have heard about half the names in it by now.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Well, all right. I guess that was
this last couple weeks.
We caught up on everything. Next week we'll be back. We already have a time and everything set, so we'll be good.
Hopefully.
We'll have the official Fastlane Fallout. We'll be being able to direct more toward WrestleMania, trying to figure that out. But until then, I'm Luke Janesco.
Casey Church.
D Harris.
And that was your week in wrestling.
It's a new day, yes